Hey Kath, okay, so now that all the designs are accurate, the next thing we need to do is we need to crop the designs. So on your desktop, what I recommend you do is you create a folder. Sorry, I have a lot of folders on here, but I recommend you create a folder that you put all your designs that you're working on for right now. So currently I put in, oops, I have a folder for my test design one. You can name whatever you want. So if you're doing maybe 15 designs right now, you have all 15 designs in here that you pulled from the folder. These are just two random designs I have in here to show you. So the first thing we need to do with the designs that you're currently working with is we need to crop them. So if you look at this design right here, you can tell it's not cropped. And the reason being is if you look at this thumbnail, you see all this white space around the design. That should not be there. And you can see this one has some space above it, some space below it. So we need to get rid of that space. So what we do is we have this little Photoshop droplet. And all you got to do is you got to drag your files and you can drag them on top of it like this. And it's going to run an automation where it's going to automatically get rid of that dead space for you. So you can see now, if you give it a second, it should run. And if it doesn't, sometimes I need to restart it to make it work. Because it looks like this one worked. As you can see, it now has no dead space around the outside. This design, for some reason, looks like it did not run. I can try dragging it again. If not, I probably just need to restart. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, so as you do it, make sure they both go. If they don't, just drag them and get on top of it and it should go. So now that these are cropped right, the next thing we need to do is we need to create the mockup images. So we have a very easy way for you to do that. All you got to do is use the script that we installed. So if you remember from the previous video, we installed the script into your folder. So now that it's installed, we will go to File, Scripts, and Script Only JPEG. This is the script that you installed from the previous video, and if you do not see it, I recommend restarting Photoshop, as then it should show up then. So if you click Script Only JPEG, what you're going to do is you're going to select the template folder. So the template folder is the t-shirt design folder. So this is located in Dropbox as well. So if you go to Dropbox, you go to Mockups, and you go to Honey and Bear, and then Compressed Mockups. These are all the templates. So all you gotta do is go to this folder and click open, and you can see it's now selected here. Next, select the design folder. If we go back to our desktop, here are those two designs we just cropped. For you, this may be 15, 20, 30 designs in here, however many you're working on right now. You'll click open, and then we'll click the export folder. We're gonna export these to Dropbox as well. So we're gonna go to our generic store, and we're gonna click mockup images. So this is in Dropbox as well. What? Huh? Okay, so then once they are in the mockup images, we're gonna click open. So we pick the template folder. The template folder is, again, the t-shirts that we're using for the mockups. The design folder is the designs we're working on, and the export folder is where the images will go when it's all finished. Once that's done, I'll click OK. And all you gotta do is just sit back and wait for the automation to run. So currently it is actually placing the designs on the garments automatically. So you don't need to actually do anything. You just gotta sit here and wait for it to finish. It should just take, the more designs you're doing, the longer it takes, because it needs to do the same, the process for each design. But it should just take a few minutes for it to run through. And when we're done, we'll have all the images ready to go. All right, cool. So now that that's finished, what you'll see is, in the generic store, in the mockup images folder, we're gonna see all these things and those designs that I showed you earlier. As you can see, they are now all mocked up on our models. So there's actually nothing that you gotta worry about for creating mockup images. This is all done automatically for us with the software. And since you don't have this Dropbox app, what you're going to want to do is create another folder on your desktop titled maybe output. And instead, when you are in Photoshop and you're running our script, for the template folder, that stays the same. Design folder stays the same. The export folder, however, you don't have the Dropbox app on your computer. Therefore, you may want to go to desktop, and we will just send the mock images to our output folder. And then once they all run, then you could go and you could take all these mock images that are created and you could upload them to Dropbox in the mockup folder. So yes, that is how we crop the designs. So we get rid of the dead space, and that's how we create the mock images. What? You just say something. I don't know what to say. I know, but do you just want to say something? Like, I don't know.
On Dropbox.
The tall versus wide designs? I don't know. You didn't tell me this.
Yeah, on the prep folder.
So just say what you need to say. I don't know.
So then once you have the all the mock-ups done, you will put the designs. So the actual you'll put the actual files into this folder. So it's under print folder. And we have two different types of designs. We have some that are wider than they are tall, and some that are taller than they are wide. So it's important that these are kept separate, just for the way that we print. So you can see that this one here is wider than it is tall, and you can see that this one is as well, wider than it is tall. So these here, for example, you would drag both, or these would both be uploaded into the wide design folder. And then, so yes, you'll see them right there. And then you can also, so there's also some, oh, not there. There's also some that are taller than they are wide. So let me find an example. Let's see. I don't have one off the top of my head, but there are plenty that are taller than they are wide too. Oh, like this one here. You can see that it's taller than it is wide. So if you're doing that one, it would be dragged into the tall design instead.
So yeah, that's it. All you gotta do is go into Photoshop or remove the dead space first from the designs. Once the dead space is removed from the design so that it's all nice and cropped, we're gonna run the Photoshop automation so we can create the mock images. Once you create the mock images, upload them to Dropbox under the generic store mockup images section. And I'll go ahead and delete these because these are trash. And then after you upload the mock images, take those designs that you just used, so in your design folder that you were using, take those designs and put them in the print folder. And if they are a wide design, put them in the wide folder. If they're a tall design, put them in the tall folder. And if they're like a perfect square, just put them in the wide design folder. So yeah, that's it.